Up next, we take a closer look at the wild card weekend losers and discuss the future of the teams involved. Four NFL teams saw their playoff dreams come to an end this weekend. In the AFC, the Browns fell to the Texans in Houston, while the Dolphins put up a tough fight but ultimately succumbed to the Chiefs. Turning to the NFC, the Cowboys were thwarted by the Packers, and former head coach Sean McVay and the Rams were defeated by his current team, the Buccaneers, in Sunday's matchup. For these four teams, the end of the road came with mixed feelings. While they can take pride in making it to the postseason, their ultimate goal remains to progress further in the future. Let's delve into the key questions each team faces following their postseason losses and how they can address these issues to improve next season. We'll start with the Browns, followed by the Dolphins, Cowboys, and Rams. In sports news, quarterback Jared Goff takes charge as the Detroit Lions secure a victorious rematch against the Los Angeles Rams. The Detroit Lions secured their first home playoff victory in over 3 decades, with a narrow 24-23 win over the Los Angeles Rams at Ford Field. The electrifying sold-out atmosphere witnessed the Lions holding off the Rams to end their prolonged playoff victory drought, dating back to 1991. Lions defensive end Hutchinson maintained his stellar form, putting significant pressure on Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford and making 2 sacks and 4 QB hits. However, the Lions' secondary struggled to contain Stafford, allowing 2 passing touchdowns of 25-plus air yards during the game. Jared Goff's return to face the quarterback he was traded for in 2021 saw him complete 22 of 27 passes for 277 yards and 1 touchdown. The Lions, as the number 3 seed, advanced to the divisional round and will face the winner of the game between the Philadelphia Eagles and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, Stafford's return to Detroit did not culminate in a fairy tale ending, as he finished with 367 yards and 2 touchdowns, but failed to lead the Rams to victory. The Rams also saw rookie 5th-round pick Puka Nacua shine, setting a rookie record for most receiving yards in NFL playoff history, with 9 catches for 181 yards and a touchdown. The Rams notably struggled in the red zone, failing to convert any of their 3 opportunities in a game for the first time this season. Additionally, Goff's performance under pressure was a mix of extremes, with an impeccable 22 of 22 for 277 yards and a touchdown when not pressured, but 0 completions with 3 sacks under pressure. Coming up next, we'll be taking a closer look at the upcoming NFL wildcard games, including expert picks, predictions, and the key X factors to watch for. The weekend has been the high point in terms of fun, but Monday will be crucial in deciding the next set of games in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. As the NFL prepares for the delayed schedule, our NFL Nation reporters are here to provide the main keys and bold predictions for the 2 upcoming matchups. Additionally, ESPN Stats and Information offers essential statistics to know and some additional insights for both games, while the Football Power Index, FPI, delves into the numbers with a game projection. Analytics writer Seth Walder has identified the biggest X factors, Matt Bowen has highlighted the key game planning matchups to watch, and Kevin Seifert provides insights on the officiating. Finally, Walder and Eric Moody share their final score predictions for both games. First up, the Bills and Steelers clash, with the Bills being favored by 10 points. Both teams share a number of similarities in their journey to this stage, such as losing key players to injury, but still managing to put together season-ending winning streaks despite low playoff odds. The Steelers will look to secure their first playoff win since 2016, while the Bills maintain a strong home playoff record. Limiting the impact of Bills quarterback Josh Allen, who has demonstrated remarkable passing and rushing abilities in the postseason, will be a significant challenge for the Steelers. Pittsburgh running back Najee Harris is expected to make an impact, having consistently achieved over 100 rushing yards in recent games. With the weather expected to be adverse, the Steelers will heavily rely on their ground game, with Harris and Benny Snell Jr. carrying the offensive load. The Steelers will also look to their strong defense to pressure Allen and disrupt the Bills' passing game. One of the key focus areas for the Steelers will be left tackle Dion Dawkins, who is crucial in protecting Allen from the Steelers' pass rush, especially in the absence of edge rusher Alex Highsmith. Additionally, the Steelers will aim to exploit the Bills' vulnerability in defending inside runs, with an emphasis on ground game success between the tackles. The officiating in this game will be overseen by renowned referee Carl Cheffers, known for his experience in officiating high-stakes games. The second matchup of the day sees the Bucs facing off against the Eagles, with the Bucs being favored by 3 points. Despite previous encounters, the Bucs and the Eagles find themselves in contrasting positions, with the Bucs on a winning streak and the Eagles struggling in recent games. Both teams are managing quarterback injuries, with Tom Brady dealing with a rib injury and Jalen Hurts nursing a hand injury. Bucs running back Leonard Fournette is expected to play a crucial role, aiming to surpass 125 all-purpose yards. The Eagles will focus on their run game, with the objective of maximizing the impact of running back Miles Sanders against the Bucs' defense. The game will also be influenced by the effectiveness of the Bucs' defensive front against the Eagles' offensive line, as well as Hurts' ability to handle the Bucs' blitz-heavy defensive strategy. The officiating in this game will become a subplot, with attention on the discipline of the offensive lines and their ability to minimize penalties. In conclusion, Monday's games are critical in determining the teams that will progress to the next round of the playoffs. The matchups promise to be intense as teams look to overcome injuries, exploit vulnerabilities, and secure essential wins. In sports news, the Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford connects with Puka Nacua and Tutu Atwell for impressive long touchdown plays to maintain momentum. The Detroit Lions quarterback Stafford ignited the crowd at Ford Field with a 50-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Nacua. On 3rd and 1 from the 50-yard line, Stafford connected with Nacua down the left sideline, marking the rookie's 4th catch of the game. As per ESPN Stats and Information, the pass covered 29 yards. This touchdown contributed to the Rams narrowing the gap to 14-10 against their opponents. Following an earlier crucial 4th and 5 conversion, and with less than 5 minutes left in the first half, Stafford further closed the gap by linking up with a receiver for a 38-yard touchdown. The pass showcased Stafford's skill and determination and prompted an electric response from the crowd. The Lions had allowed 7 passing touchdowns of over 25 air yards during the regular season, but the Rams endeavored to counter this trend in a thrilling display of offensive prowess. The Dallas Cowboys are once again looking for solutions after another disappointing playoff performance. The Dallas Cowboys' stunning loss to the Green Bay Packers in the wild-card round of the playoffs left the team in shock and disbelief. The defeat marked the end of a season that had held so much promise, with the Cowboys' dreams of advancing to the divisional round shattered. The Cowboys, who had been undefeated at AT&T Stadium throughout the regular season, were outplayed by the Packers from the start. The Packers dominated the first half, taking advantage of costly mistakes by the Cowboys and building a substantial lead that proved insurmountable. Quarterback Dak Prescott expressed his disbelief at the outcome, emphasizing the team's confidence and the unexpected turn of events. Despite an impressive regular season, the Cowboys found themselves unable to replicate their success in the playoffs, falling short of their aspirations once again. The disappointment was palpable throughout the team, as players and coaches grappled with the abrupt end to their season. Head coach Mike McCarthy and owner Jerry Jones both expressed surprise and frustration following the disheartening loss. For the Cowboys, the defeat raised questions about the future, including potential changes and the need to address expiring contracts for key players. The team now faces crucial decisions regarding contract extensions, salary cap management, and the overall direction of the franchise in the coming seasons. Despite the individual accomplishments of several players during the regular season, including Dak Prescott's impressive performance and Micah Parsons' standout contributions, the team's collective efforts ultimately proved insufficient in the playoffs. The disappointment of yet another postseason exit without a Super Bowl appearance was keenly felt, as the Cowboys once again confronted the perennial question of how to achieve playoff success. As the Cowboys reflect on another season cut short, the sense of missed opportunities and unfulfilled potential lingers. The quest for postseason success continues to elude the franchise, leaving the team and its supporters searching for answers and hoping for a different outcome in the future. The upcoming topic is a key matchup in the divisional round, following an impressive win by the Packers against the Cowboys. The highly anticipated NFC wildcard game on Sunday saw the favored Dallas Cowboys being dominated by the Green Bay Packers, with the latter securing a decisive 48-32 victory. This leaves questions surrounding the future of the Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy, quarterback Dak Prescott, and defensive coordinator Dan Quinn. Despite the Cowboys having a promising season, their disappointing performance against the Packers has raised significant doubts about the team's potential. Despite entering the game as heavy favorites, the Cowboys were thoroughly outplayed by the Packers, as evident in their 27-0 deficit at halftime. The Packers' first-year starting quarterback, Jordan Love, delivered a stellar performance, showcasing his talent with 3 touchdowns and 272 yards, securing a passer rating of 157.2. His remarkable debut has bolstered the Packers' prospects in the postseason. The Packers' victory over the Cowboys marks a significant upset, with the team facing odds as 7.5-point underdogs. This win is considered the franchise's largest upset in the playoffs since the 1995 divisional round. Running back Aaron Jones, who missed several regular season games due to injuries, returned to the playoffs in peak form, rushing for 118 yards and scoring 3 touchdowns. Additionally, the Packers' receiving corps, including Malik Taylor and Jahan Dotson, have demonstrated their prowess with multiple 100-yard games in recent weeks. The Packers' defense also made significant contributions, with interceptions from Jaire Alexander and Darnell Savage, the latter returning his interception for a crucial touchdown. On the other hand, the Cowboys' disappointing performance has raised concerns about quarterback Dak Prescott, who struggled to find his rhythm and threw 2 interceptions in the game, including one returned for a touchdown. The Cowboys' defense was unable to contain the Packers' offense, conceding multiple big plays throughout the game. The defensive scheme led by Dan Quinn struggled to counter the Packers' offensive strategies, highlighting the team's lack of resilience. After a promising regular season, the Cowboys' abrupt exit from the playoffs has cast a shadow of uncertainty over the future of the team. With key questions looming over the coaching staff and the team's long-term prospects, the Cowboys face significant challenges as they contemplate their next steps following this disappointing playoff defeat. In the latest sports news, the Lions have a simple message for the Rams after their recent win, with a playful jab at actor Bryan Cranston. The NFL wildcard round has kicked off, and with it, some impressive performances and playful jabs. The Buffalo Bills secured their first home playoff game victory since 1992, as quarterback Josh Allen threw for 277 yards and a touchdown, while the Patriots' Mac Jones racked up 367 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Notably, Bills' Devin Singletary and Zach Moss both contributed rushing scores, and Gabriel Davis made 7 receptions for 110 yards. Davis' standout performance of 9 receptions and 181 yards set a new rookie record for receiving yards in NFL postseason history. Before the game, the Los Angeles Rams shared a video of Matthew Stafford leading the team onto the field with the caption, "Whose house?" Detroit cleverly replied to this with a jibe at actor Bryan Cranston and a nod to Breaking Bad. In another wild card matchup, the Houston Texans rookie quarterback Davis Mills impressed with 274 passing yards and 3 touchdowns in his playoff debut, earning the title of the youngest starting quarterback to win a playoff game since 1950. Mills was further supported by Rex Burkhead's 66 rushing yards and a touchdown. The Texans' defense played a crucial role, forcing 2 consecutive pick sixes by Joe Flacco and extending their lead to 38-14. In a social media twist, Houston took a dig at Cleveland after their victory. Meanwhile, the Kansas City Chiefs exhibited defensive prowess, containing the Miami Dolphins to just 264 total yards and 7 points. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes recorded 262 passing yards and a touchdown, with rookie Jerick McKinnon making a notable contribution of 8 receptions for 130 yards and a touchdown. Notably, despite a touchdown and an interception, Dolphins' Tua Tagovailoa had his third lowest passing yard total of the season with 199 yards. Travis Kelce marked his return to Kansas City with 5 receptions for 62 yards and a touchdown. The Chiefs' parting social media shot at the Dolphins simply read Finn. On a different note, the Green Bay Packers emerged victorious over the Dallas Cowboys on the road, becoming the first number 7 seed to win an NFL playoff game. Packers quarterback Jordan Love threw for 272 yards and 3 touchdowns in his playoff debut, while A.J. Dillon rushed for 118 yards and tied a postseason record with 3 rushing touchdowns in a road game. Dallas faltered with just 7 points in the first half, as Dak Prescott threw 2 interceptions, one of which was returned for a score by the Packers. Despite Prescott's 403 passing yards, the game ended with 3 interceptions. As the Packers celebrated their win, they teased their next opponents, the San Francisco 49ers, with a graphic of Love riding a horse towards the next challenge. Coming up next, we'll delve into the latest developments in the world of sports. The Green Bay Packers secured an impressive victory against the Dallas Cowboys, marking their place in the NFC divisional round. Making history as the first number 7 seed to win a playoff game, the Packers advanced with a 6-0 record at AT&T Stadium, having secured victories against the Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers in Super Bowl XLV. This achievement ties them with the San Francisco 49ers and Miami Dolphins for the most wins by any team without a loss or tie at a single stadium, as reported by ESPN Stats and Information. On the other hand, the Cowboys faced a disappointing defeat, becoming the first top 2 seed to fail to reach the divisional round since seeding began in 1975. Despite entering the game as 7.5-point favorites, the Cowboys' inability to secure a win continues a trend, as this is the 3rd time since 1998 that they have been defeated as heavy favorites in the playoffs. Key statistics from the Packers' victory include their offensive prowess, with 3 touchdowns on their first 4 drives and a total of 48 points, matching their highest ever playoff game score. Additionally, this marked the first time the Cowboys have allowed 40 points in a playoff game. Quarterback Jordan Love, in his first playoff start, delivered an exceptional performance, throwing for 272 yards and 3 touchdowns, with a passer rating of 157.2, tied for the 3rd highest in NFL postseason history. Notably, Love became the first player to post a 99 QBR in a playoff game since the metric was introduced in 2006. Amidst the noteworthy individual performances, the Packers emerged as the youngest team since the 1970 merger to win a playoff game, with an average age of 25.68. This youthful approach translated into success, with all 3 of Love's touchdowns being caught by first- or second-year players, contributing to the team's overall impressive tally of 34 receiving touchdowns by first- or second-year players this season. The Cowboys quarterback, Dak Prescott, faced a challenging outcome, with a career-high 60 pass attempts in the game and a 1-5 career record against the Packers, marked by 10 interceptions. Furthermore, a career milestone was reached for wide receiver D. Michael Harris, who recorded 6 receptions for 151 receiving yards and 1 touchdown, ranking his performance among the top 3 in a playoff game in franchise history. After recent developments, we'll be discussing the latest updates on a high-profile situation. Before the Cowboys game in the wild card round of the playoffs had even finished on Sunday, questions about coach Mike McCarthy's job status were already swirling. Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones, who stands 28 seasons removed from the franchise's last Super Bowl, declined to delve into the matter as he stood outside the locker room after the game. He stressed the significance of advancing and expressed disappointment following the team's loss. McCarthy, with 1 more year left on his contract, holds a regular season record of 42-25 over 4 seasons, including 3 12-win seasons and NFC East titles. Despite his success in regular season, the team has only accomplished one playoff victory, leading to speculations about his future with the team. Jones did not schedule a meeting with McCarthy, but emphasized a post-game review and preparations for the following week, indicating that no decisions were imminent. With 7 NFL coaching positions available and notable coaches like Bill Belichick in the market, the future of the coaching staff remains uncertain. Players, including quarterback Dak Prescott and left guard Connor Williams, have publicly defended McCarthy, commending his support for their well-being during the season. Prescott, who led the NFL in touchdown passes in the regular season, acknowledged the uncertainty in the business of football while expressing his admiration and gratitude for McCarthy's influence on the team's success. The Cowboys' management has also expressed their intention to keep Prescott for the long term, with his current contract running through 2024. As for Prescott's performance in the playoffs, he expressed his disappointment in his own performance, acknowledging that he couldn't dwell on the past and must focus on the challenge ahead. Despite his struggles in the wild-card round against the Packers, Prescott's commitment to improvement and winning was evident in his post-game remarks. Next up, an in-depth look into the challenges facing the Philadelphia Eagles under head coach Nick Sirianni. The Philadelphia Eagles are entering the postseason amidst a cloud of uncertainty and scrutiny. After a strong start to the season with a Super Bowl bid, the team has faltered, going 1-5 in their last 6 games. Coach Nick Sirianni, in his 3rd year, has faced increasing pressure as the team has struggled to find its footing. Offensive underperformance has been a significant concern, with Pro Bowl-level talent not meeting expectations. Tensions within the team have been evident, with reported discord between players and coaches. The demotion of defensive coordinator Sean Desai has not yielded the desired results, with the defense finishing 30th in points allowed. Additionally, there appears to be a disconnect between the visions of Sirianni, quarterback Jalen Hurts, and offensive coordinator Brian Johnson, affecting the team's offensive identity. Despite posting above-average numbers, the offense failed to meet the high standards set in 2022. Players have expressed dissatisfaction even after wins, and Hurts's interception rate has raised concerns. The team's recent losses have also heightened questions about Sirianni's decisions and the team's overall performance. Though public support for Sirianni remains, there are indications of internal unrest and player dissatisfaction. Despite the coach's efforts to control his emotions, there have been instances of on-field tension, leading to discussions about his leadership and decision-making. The team's struggles have extended beyond the playing field, with reports of finger-pointing and a lack of cohesion among teammates. The change in defensive coordinators has not produced the expected results, and disagreements over offensive strategies have further impacted the team's performance. As the Eagles gear up for the postseason, they face challenges in finding a cohesive offensive identity and addressing lingering issues within the team. While player support for Sirianni remains publicly, the underlying discord and dissatisfaction suggest that the team's woes run deeper than their recent on-field performances. Today, we bring you the latest news on the passing of a former 4-time Pro Bowl quarterback at the age of 84. Norm Snead, a prominent NFL quarterback in the 1960s and 70s, passed away at the age of 84. The Wake Forest football spokesperson conveyed the news of Snead's demise on Monday, reporting that the family informed the school of his passing on Sunday. The cause of death was not disclosed. Snead's professional career commenced after he played college football for Wake Forest. He was drafted as the 2nd overall pick in the 1961 NFL Draft by Washington. Additionally, he was selected as the 33rd pick in the American Football League draft that same year. Ultimately, he chose to play for Washington, where he spent 3 seasons before being traded to the Philadelphia Eagles for Sonny Jurgensen and Claude Crabb. His time with the Eagles spanned 7 seasons, during which the team did not reach the playoffs. Nonetheless, Snead's standout performance in 1965 earned him a Pro Bowl selection. He threw for 15 touchdowns and 2,346 yards, leading the team to a 5-9 record with 3 game-winning drives. Towards the latter part of his career, Snead played for various teams including Minnesota, the New York Giants, and the San Francisco 49ers before retiring in 1977. Throughout his NFL tenure, Snead started in 159 games, amassing 196 touchdowns and 257 interceptions. Before his professional career, Snead achieved all ACC honors twice during his time at Wake Forest, setting numerous conference records. He showcased his talent with a memorable quote about his playing style, stating, "I couldn't run and couldn't get out of my own way, but could throw the football." A decorated athlete, Snead's legacy extends to his induction into the Wake Forest University Sports Hall of Fame in 1984, further solidifying his impact on the sport. Norm Snead was a native of Halifax County, Virginia, and excelled in football, basketball, and baseball at Warwick High School. In today's news, we will be discussing a thrilling sports showdown that has captivated audiences. Detroit had a historic moment on Sunday when the team scored the first playoff touchdown in Ford Field history. In the NFC wildcard matchup against the Rams, Lions running back D'Andre Swift punched in a goal line score straight up the middle at 9:33 in the opening possession, giving the team a 7-0 lead. It was a significant moment as it marked the first postseason game held at Ford Field since it opened in 2002. The touchdown came on a 10-play, 75-yard drive, during which Swift accumulated 24 yards on 5 carries. Later in the first quarter, running back Jamal Williams extended Detroit's lead to 14-3 with another touchdown, scoring on a 10-yard rush. The team's momentum continued in the second quarter when rookie tight end Brock Wright caught a 2-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Jared Goff, further boosting the Lions' lead to 21-10. It was an impressive start for the Lions in their first playoff game at Ford Field, with multiple players contributing to the team's success on the field. Two key players for the Michigan football team have made the decision to return for the upcoming season. Michigan's national champion team received a welcome boost as running back Donovan Edwards and edge rusher Chris Hinton announced their decision to return for the 2024 season. The news was shared on social media by the two players following a weekend that saw several of their teammates declare for the NFL draft, including quarterback Cade McNamara, running back Blake Corum, and defensive linemen Aiden Hutchinson and David Ojabo. Stewart, who joined Michigan from Coastal Carolina in December 2022, had an impactful season, finishing second on the team in sacks with 5.5 and tying for third in tackles for loss with 8.5. His performance earned him an honorable mention All Big Ten recognition from the league's coaches. Notably, Stewart had an impressive freshman year at Coastal Carolina in 2021, recording 12.5 sacks and 3 forced fumbles. Edwards, who mostly played behind Corum, made a significant impact in the national championship game, where he scored crucial touchdown runs of 41 and 46 yards. Despite reduced production earlier in the season, Edwards ended on a high note with 104 rushing yards on just 6 carries in the championship game. His overall season stats included 497 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns. His most productive stretch came towards the end of the 2022 season, following Corum's knee injury, with standout performances against Ohio State, Iowa in the Big Ten championship game, and Georgia in a CFP semifinal loss. Edwards will enter the new season with 1,662 rushing yards and 15 touchdowns, along with 200 or more receiving yards in each of his first 3 seasons with the Wolverines. This next topic has everyone talking after an unexpected turn of events. The Green Bay Packers quarterback Jordan Love left observers in awe with his stellar performance in Sunday's NFC wildcard playoff game against the Dallas Cowboys. Love's coach, Matt LaFleur, expressed his astonishment at Love's poise, command, and growth since his first start in 2021. Love's standout performance included 272 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and a maximum passer rating of 158.3. This impressive display earned him a total QBR of 99.3, making him the first player to achieve a 99 QBR in a playoff game since ESPN began tracking the metric in 2006. Love's teammates also praised his growth and performance, emphasizing their belief in him from the beginning. It wasn't just Love who shone in the game. The Packers' defense contributed with interceptions, and Aaron Jones and the receiving corps made significant offensive plays. The offensive line's protection also allowed Love to showcase his skills. Center Josh Myers and right guard John Runyon were among those who lauded Love's performance and growth as a first-year starter. Looking ahead to the divisional round, Love and the Packers face the challenge of playing the top-seeded San Francisco 49ers. Despite being labeled as underdogs for the upcoming game, Love is savoring the victory and acknowledging the team's celebration in the locker room. The quarterback expressed his joy and gratitude for the win while remaining focused on the next